Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Top 5 Wednesday. The topic for this week is your favourite books that are outside of your comfort zone. So I didn't have that much to choose from because I generally read YA and adult fantasy, horror and contemporary, and I don't normally branch much outside of those genres because I know what I like and sometimes I'm a little bit anxious to try new things. But if you've been watching my videos recently, you will know that I am trying to broaden my reading taste now because I think it is important to have a wide taste in books. So the first book in this video that I really enjoyed is an adult romance, and that is The Little Shop of Happy Ever After by Jenny Colgan. I read this in May and absolutely adored it. It was so cute, it was so inspirational, it was so funny. The main character Nina was very relatable, which I think is really important for me in an adult contemporary because so many of them have main characters that I share no interests or personality traits with, and therefore I just want to put it straight down. This one I read really quickly because of my kind of affinity with Nina, I guess, and also it was just really light and fluffy and perfect for what I needed at that time. So yeah, thoroughly recommend this if you are into chick litty romance type books. The next one is an adult sci-fi book, and I know you guys will know that I don't read a lot of adult sci-fi, but I am kind of interested in dipping my toes into it more now, and that is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. I have also seen the film of this with Martin Freeman. Both this book and the film had me laughing out loud. I read this at least 3 or 4 years ago now, so it was quite a long time ago, and I needed a book that was going to make me laugh out loud at that time, and this really fitted that bill. I know this is the first in I think a 5 or 6 book series, but the reason I haven't picked the rest up, and I know this is going to sound absolutely ridiculous to some of you, but I adore this little cute hardback edition of it. And I've looked everywhere for the other books in the series in this edition, and I cannot find them anywhere. I think they've only published the first one in it, which is such a shame, and it means I can't have mismatched editions on my shelf. So I think if I ever want to finish this series, which I am thinking about doing, I'm going to have to read them on my Kindle. But yeah, anyway, I adore this edition. See, it's a cute little hardback. It's got the button there that says do not press this button, and I don't know if you can see like shiny words that says don't panic on the cover, and then it's got a shiny 42 on the back. Absolutely adore this edition, and I can't actually think of another adult sci-fi that I've read, which sounds terrible, but yeah, I may continue with this series at some point. So yeah. The next one is a non-fiction book, and I don't read a lot of non-fiction. It has to be about something that I'm really interested in for me to pick it up, and that is A Street Cat Named Bob by James Bowen. Bob is a real cat and James Bowen is obviously a real man, and the story of this book is true. James Bowen was a recovering drug addict. He was a busker in Covent Garden in central London when Bob showed up on his doorstep once, and they obviously became friends. They rescued each other when they were both homeless and in need, and obviously Bob started sitting with James where in his busking spot, and they built up a little fan club because obviously he stood out because Bob is such a beautiful round fluffy ginger cat, and yeah, people that saw them every day to and from work just fell in love with them, and that's how they became well known, and they got a book deal, and there are several books now on James and Bob, and their story is just so heartwarming. It's lovely, especially obviously for cat lovers like me. So yeah. The next one is, okay, so it's not entirely out of my comfort zone now, but it was when I read it, and that is Paper Towns by John Green. When I read this book, it was the first proper YA book I'd read as an adult. Well, at the time I read this, I mostly read Stephen King books and horror books, and yeah, so I didn't read any YA contemporary. This is also still a little bit out of my comfort zone because it's based around a road trip, and I don't know why, but I don't read that many road trip books or stories. But I did really enjoy this. It has got an important message in it about you never really know anyone fully because everyone puts on a different face depending on who they're talking to, so you only ever really know one version of everyone you know, basically. And I think that's a really important message to take away, because it means you never really know anyone's full story. But there is a load more to it, obviously, and it is a really popular YA contemporary. But the reason it's in this video is because it was out of my comfort zone when I read it, and also, as I said, it's a road trip book, which I don't really read that much of, so yeah. And the last one is a literary fiction book. Now, I don't really know what this kind of genre meant. I've heard the term battered around a lot, literary fiction, and basically it's a kind of almost like a modern classic, I want to say. Like it's a straight kind of fiction book, but it has like kind of literary acclaim to it. So for this, I've picked Lord of the Flies by William Golding. I really, really love this book. Again, it's got a very, very deep, important moral to it. It's really, really kind of, if you don't know what it is, it's about a group of schoolboys who are marooned on a desert island, and they go really savage, basically. So there is a lot of violence and a lot of scary mob mentality going on in it. But yeah, it's classed as literary fiction according to Goodreads, and I don't read a lot of literary fiction, so yeah, that's why it's in this video. And that is it for this week's Top 5 Wednesday. What are your favourite books that are out of your comfort zones? What genres do you not normally read? Obviously, I will leave all my social media down below as normal. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Bye bye.